Introducing SeaMeet, the world's first triple-track translation engine for online meetings. Do you need real-time parallel translation for your online and offline meetings? SeaMeet is the world's first triple-track translation engine for all of your meeting needs. From this screen, you can see that the speaker was speaking English, but we have translated that into Spanish, Chinese, and also even emojis. So this Translate drop-down supports up to 2 standard languages for formal translation and also one fun language for just adding some spice to your translation and to your online meetings. Let me show you exactly what to do. First of all, you might want to install SeaMeet, and you can just sign up for free and install the Google extension for SeaMeet. Once you have it, head on to Google Meet and then start a new meeting. So let me start an instant meeting right now and then do the demo. I'll do the video off but mic on right over here. With this extension, you could actually click on the recording button right over here, and SeaMeet will send a meeting copilot to the meeting, and then that's gonna provide both real-time transcription and also translation. Now that the meeting copilot is waiting on the door, by the door, let me just admit this meeting copilot right now. So once this is working, you can click on this live transcription and translation tab. That will bring you directly to the backend right over here. By default, we do not translate the meeting. However, you could actually enable it. So now since I'm speaking English, I could translate this into Spanish or the other way around, and also choose a different language. Let's try to use Mandarin right over here. And if you want to spice it up, we have multiple different fun languages that you can choose from. So for this simple demo, I will just choose Yoda speak, if you're a Star Wars fan. So let's give it a try. Hello everyone, welcome to the team meeting. Yoda was pretty accurate and used the typical verb, object, subject, grammar right over here. And let's try something different. Now I have, oh, we do not have enough money for this project. Okay, that's fun, but it's a little bit disappointing. Now let's try something else. We can also try a pirate speak if you want to be naughty today. The server is down. We need to fix the code. Who wants to order pizza for lunch? Please finish this by 5 p.m. today. Okay, that's enough fun for the pirate speak. And what about a doggo speak? That's kind of interesting as well. I totally agree with that idea. But I'm not sure I understand what you mean. If you want to cheer up, the little translation right over here in the meeting, you could also do UWU speak or some global flavors. Let's try Minions. I think this is kind of cute. Great job, everyone. We did it. Okay, I can literally not pronounce what the Minions are saying in this meeting right now. It's kind of interesting. And let's do something a little bit disappointing. Well, not that the flavor translation is disappointing, but something that usually happen in the meeting. So let me see. This meeting could have been an email. This meeting could have been a chat message. And this meeting could have been not having a meeting. Okay, and now to end this up, after emojis, I'll just bring out my favorite, the Klingon speech. Or maybe the Morse code, just in case that you're trapped somewhere, maybe in the meetings, and you wanted to send a special code to your servers. Thanks everyone. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you everyone. This is all for the meeting, and then let's end this with my favorite Klingon speak. This has been the SeaMeet triple track translation demo. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next episode.